We'll call capital planning to order. And I will say we have, other than my personal invitation, we have no new mail, which is great. So I start by asking Steve, do you have any idea what we do?
Just from conversations with John,
Yep.
you know, we're in a coffee group every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So,
Solve all the world's
I know.
problems.
I've
Yeah,
been trying to
well-
get my husband to just go and show up.
yeah, it's, Friday's the big one, you know. Friday's the one where the two chiefs are there and state troopers, and there's like 8 or 10, 12
Wow.
people. Oh yeah, it's like a little town meeting. Yeah.
As you said, solving all the world's
Yeah,
problems.
I can't sit there that long and listen to it, so I have to leave. But yeah, John's been after me for 6, 8 months, so,
Awesome.
yep.
That's fantastic. So we sort of have two charters. The first one is to compile and keep a list of all the capital assets that the town has, which we have struggled with for many years. We're still working on. And then the second is with every budget cycle, so every fiscal year, we ask for requests from departments and committees for any sort of capital item that they need, which in our book is any expenditure over $10,000. And so those requests go out the 1st of September. They're given back to us by the 1st of November, which is next week. And then we review them, we talk to all the applicable parties, get more information, and then based on the budget we're given by FinCom, we then make choices as to what the town purchases every year. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Not only are we asking for capital for the next fiscal year, we're asking capital for the following 5 years. So that
The
we
5-year
can.
planning.
Yeah,
Thank you, Eloise. I forget that we're trying to balance all those things out.
We were
So that
talking
we're
about
not-
that earlier because that's my company. We do a 3 to 5 year plan, so.
Nice. Good. So if I put you in charge of making everybody else get a 5-year plan, you're all up for that? Some people, Fire gave us a great 5-year plan.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Kristen says we have no requests in yet, so we don't officially have any requests to discuss. We do have...
first you have to reorganize.
First, okay. So let's reorganize. I was gonna say, I'm happy to not be chair if Eloise or John wants to step into that. But I'm guessing...
You are lucky. I have zero aspirations to be chairman. Just letting you know.
I mean, Steve, you can have the job too if you want.
No, I'm the newbie. I got.
Okay, then why don't, you can, if you want, we can postpone it till John's here.
Till John comes back.
Or we
Yep.
can make him chairman.
Absentee chair.
Right? You
That's
weren't
a-
here, so we're gonna nominate you.
And you didn't say no, so.
Right? There you go. I do think it would be unfair
Yeah.
to do that.
It'd be
to poor
fun,
John.
but-
It would be super fun.
Okay.
We could suggest to him that we decided to do it and then didn't formally do it.
I'm gonna tell him Saturday morning he's chair.
But yeah, so all positions are open.
There's only 2.
Well, there's chair, there's vice chair, and there's clerk, right?
Vice chair. I mean, okay, it is.
And I was telling Eloise, you either want me as clerk, I'm the worst note taker in the world.
That's why you have Max.
There you go. I feel like, Eloise, we're still down a member, even though we have Steve. Am I wrong about that? Are there
Is Janet
supposed-
still a member?
No, so Janet was FinCom,
Oh, okay.
which is unfortunately a non-voting
Okay.
member.
Because technically what's gonna happen is, once you're done here, it will come to FinCom, and then FinCom will discuss it and vote on it.
Yep.
So I don't get out of voting on it. I just don't vote on what comes to FinCom.
But
So-
when FinCom has questions, you have all the answers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, we have 5.
We have 5. So it's Eloise, John, me, and you.
And then you say there was somebody else that wasn't here?
No, just John.
Oh,
Unless I'm. So we have 2 from the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, that's
Planning.
John and myself.
Yep. Then Planning Board, Moderator.
Planning board was Anna.
Yep.
Finance committee is Julie. So moderator appointment, according to me, is vacant.
Didn't Moderator nominate Steve? And if he didn't, I'm writing it down as such.
Okay.
I was told yes, but,
Sounds good to me.
you know,
Works
That works
for
for
me.
me.
that was a big issue that I
Yes.
told you that we had
Yeah.
for 6 months ago. That Barry was a little bit,
But I didn't have his email.
Yeah.
He didn't return his census. I had no telephone.
she's giving me a
Look
guilt
at
complex.
you.
No, it's
No,
just,
I know, I understand.
I run into this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, where people are hard to track down.
Ironically, is John had my email and my phone number.
And I sent an email to John figuring he would just
Yep.
forward it to you.
But no.
I don't know if he did or
I-
stuff gets lost in my computer.
I got a couple emails from him. Like I said, I did get one that he sent me where the forms that the department heads they use, so I'd be familiar with them.
Yeah.
But other than that, other than the meeting today,
Yeah.
that was it.
Okay. Well, the good news is you haven't missed anything. We haven't done anything since town meeting, so here we are. Ready
No,
to
but
go.
for the next meeting, I would like to hear, I have to be careful because I am town clerk, but I would like to hear from Kristen the update of all the money that we awarded. Where does everything stand?
I understood when she said she could not be here tonight, and I don't think it's life or death in any way, but I was looking forward to hearing from her sort of a report of where we stand. What
Yes.
happened with,
I know the
multiple
roof
things?
was done.
was it done?
The roof was, to the best of my knowledge, the air handler. If it's been done, I didn't know about it, but that's not new.
Yeah.
I only work here.
I'm glad the roof is not leaking.
Yes.
I'll just go with that. Yeah. So, postponing, reorganizing. It's gonna, until next
I
meeting.
have, yeah,
Yeah.
hold for John. When is the next meeting?
So that's one of the things we need to set, for this meeting is when our next, sets of meetings will be. So we normally, we're supposed to have all of our stuff into FinCom by the 31st of January. So that gives us 3 months to get through all the requests and talk to all the people and make our decisions. I was sort of thinking every other Thursday for the next 3 months, if that works, but
I don't have a problem. That was
That
one of
was
the
for
things.
me.
Is Thursdays work great for me.
Eloise.
Thursday I can do,
Okay. So the only,
except for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say, the only complicating factor to that is Thanksgiving is is 4 weeks from today.
Well, why couldn't we go from the 9th to the 30th?
Well, we could do that. And then the 14th and the 28th,
Yeah, so we're just throwing that out of schedule by 1 week, that's all.
and then the 11th and the 25th. Yeah, that works for me.
And what did you say the December dates were?
let me get you there. So,
I thought Steve had them right at his,
I do, it's, so we meet the 7th?
December?
Sorry, I got the wrong one, sorry.
no, you're right,
No,
No,
it'll be
you're
the
wrong.
9th,
of November.
November, the
to the-
30th.
And then the 30th.
30th, then it would be the 14th, and then the 28th.
I would rather do the 7th than the 21st. Because the week between Christmas and
Oh, yeah,
New Year's
can
is-
be,
Oh, that can be, yeah.
so the,
So you,
So we do two back to back, but
that would be,
so we could do the 9th and the 16th of November, and then skip the,
Well, okay.
wait, did I just get confused?
I would say the 9th and the 30th, I would keep that.
And then do the 7th and the 21st?
Yep.
Okay. And then that would make the last, sorry, I paused.
And then
it.
you just start up in January.
Yeah,
Right.
and then maybe reevaluate where we are by at the beginning of January.
Yeah.
You know, if we have 60 people we still have to meet with, or one, or none, because we're efficient.
yeah.
I like how
got
you
banged on the
giggle.
head on the way in.
You're right. We need one of those signs with a circle that says "Bang Head" here. Okay, so 9 and 30.
Now, all the
Yeah, we-
finance committee meetings are televised, right?
The finance committee?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're recorded, yeah. Right now,
Well, I just figure if somebody has a real complex project, it might be worth my while anyway to tune into finance committee.
Mhm.
And so I could start thinking about it.
Yeah, but wouldn't, but capital may actually see it before finance does.
I don't know, I just know people start grumbling, particularly when it's very snowy or rainy or wet or... But we can, I guess, pace that as we go.
Yeah, I'm hoping for no snow this winter.
I don't think we ran into, we had a backup plan and we did have to use it once where we could use one of the town's Zoom options. If we had enough notice, then we would change the posting from being in person to
Zoom.
Zoom. Nobody on FinCom really liked trying to do the hybrid because it's just so much harder to manage both people in person and on Zoom. So we just haven't, I don't think we've ever really done a hybrid.
I think we did one or two.
We did 1 or 2. It was very difficult. And then eventually we were sort of told by Kristen we weren't doing it appropriately.
Are you gonna be going to Florida as
Yeah.
you usually do?
Yeah,
When will that start?
So that'll start sometime early January. But just as I go to write this down, I'm also working in Florida on the 7th, which is that Thursday of December. And because I'm flying down for the day and flying home, I will be on a plane at this point in time, in theory.
So the 7th won't
So the
work.
7th won't work. I can't even call in.
Okay, so, so we're doing the 6th, what was the one after the 7th? The
Then
4th?
did you want
Then
to
the
do
21st.
December 14 and the 21st?
Yep, that would work with me if that would work for you guys.
So the 12th, okay, 14th.
So we're November squared, we're doing December now?
Yeah, December 14 and then the following week, December 21.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then I suggest we don't do anything until January,
I would agree. And
unless, the world blows up or something.
oh, good Lord.
Well, they just shut South Street
I
for
know.
the bridge.
So until I fully read all the gossip on Facebook about that, I was curious. I was hoping to get more information today about the bridge and where we were on that, but apparently we're not in a good spot.
Are they doing both those little bridges? Northbrook and the little one?
I am not sure. I know after I went over the one on South Street, then they marked it in red.
They had the, you know that little culvert that's before Northbrook one?
Yeah.
They had that all jackhammered out there the other day as if they were gonna, maybe they're just gonna fix that hole that they never could fix in there.
I asked Eric Shatner, the police chief, today, and he said it's gonna be closed for 12 to 18 months.
What?
Well, the way the state grant system goes is you apply for engineering plans the first year, and then you know, for the design, and then the next year they help give you money for the repair.
Okay.
Now, when they were here last year, I think they said, you know, just put it on your radar, but they didn't say anything about shutting the...
My understanding from the Facebook post is that the inspection that happened yesterday was scheduled, but the amount of deterioration was a huge surprise. Although I know you've been, I don't know what the right words are, concerned, actively asking about deterioration.
Well, I'm a big lady. I don't want to get caught falling in the water in the middle of a snowstorm because I'm special.
Yeah, I'd more worry about those semi-trucks.
But I'm sure Kristen would have better knowledge.
Yeah.
You can let her know that we need to know about that.
Yep. So she, shared with me, oh, there we go, okay. She shared with me this piece of paper that you handed me, which is a report on our free cash certified for this upcoming year. So it's 1.7 million, which means we get to use 30% of that, which is 500 and something, 533,000. And 10% into stabilization, which is 177,000. Kristen does suggest that there might be larger demands this year. That's what she says. She doesn't say what she means by that. But she also says that the schools are currently looking at 1.4 million for BMS and 1.6 million for Tohoto, for a total of $3 million in capital alone.
What makes up those capital numbers?
For BMS, the roof replacement for 800,000, air conditioning for 400,000, swipe card access to the building, more Chromebooks, iPads for kindergartners for 135,000, and 4 Steam tables for 9,000. And then Tohoto is a lawnmower, paving a non-ADA compliant walkway, a floor scrubber, because apparently their current floor scrubber doesn't fit in the elevator, so they can't take it to the second floor. Redoing the track for 150,000, replacing a water heater, laptops for the teachers, IT needs, auditorium projector replacement, auditorium audio, auditorium lighting, and a storage unit.
Could you send that around to all of us?
I can. Oh, look, yes. Please feel free to share this information. Yes, I can.
Wow. I already have more questions than I want to even think about.
So
Wow.
I would say, actually, I would say I'll send this later because I don't have everybody's emails addresses organized. I would say Kristen cautions that this is very preliminary. I would also.
Why don't you take the other side of that paper that I gave you with this and pass it around, and we can give you
Information?
their emails and contact information.
That would be lovely. Thank you, Eloise, for being on top of making me organized. I do appreciate it.
Just don't laugh when you see my email.
Haven't I
haven't-
seen
I
your
haven't-
email before?
I have an AOL email that tells you how long I've had my email.
The only question would be, does your computer go like bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop
No.
when you sign in? There you go.
No, it's just that everybody goes, AOL,
Hey, if it works for you, man.
you know? Well, it's what I've had for
Right.
everybody in the day, you know?
Yeah, so these are preliminary. We'll see what they actually come back to us with. They're usually our last group. Usually I'm chasing them, or somebody's chasing them. We're all chasing them.
I think last year they came in to the finance committee and we
Yep.
sat in just to
Yep.
make it easier.
Yep. Yeah. So that's all we have at the moment as far as requests.
Okay, I am thinking about poll tags for the election. As I
Well,
was
she knows yours, I already imagine, but
Put it on the list anyway. Poll pads is like What's a
like
poll pad?
electronic voting. So we can scan you in, and then you get your ballot, and then you mark your ballot, and then it goes into a machine to count it. And then at the end of the night, you hit print, and it will tally it up. But the advantage is you still have the ballots in case you have to do a manual count. As I was telling Steve, at the last presidential election, I was here at 4 a.m. that day, and I didn't leave till 4 a.m. the next day. And my people got in here around 6:30 a.m., and they didn't leave till around 3 a.m. And we can't do that anymore.
right.
So I am looking into alternative methods.
Are there grants for that sort of thing?
One would think so.
I
I would
feel
think
like
so.
with so much of voting switching to electronic that there would be.
I would think the feds would have some money for that.
I would think so. I don't know where or how.
That's where our town administrator comes in.
Yep.
Yes, and she's
Yep.
the one that said there might be grants available, but sometimes you only get a grant for the one thing, and yet you have to have all these.
Right.
Like for poll pads, we would need 2. You have to have 1, and you have to have a backup.
Yeah.
I can't say, oh, well, those that came before 10 a.m. get to vote, and the others don't, and, you
That'd
know.
be bad.
Yeah, there'd be a riot on my hands.
Yeah. I'll miss the box. I like the grindy box.
I
I
do too.
told her if I do that, it's gotta have a picture in the town report.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it makes me.
I think we
I don't
put
know,
it,
feel
we put it
real.
up on a glass pedestal and,
Well, it would go into the historical
yeah,
society.
this is what it used to be.
Right? No hanging chads or I don't know.
Yeah, it's just exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And right now, I think well, today I had 77 L petitions come in, so they're starting to come in.
What's an L petition?
They want to be able to grow certain chemicals in their 12 by 12 piece of land on your property. It's not cannabis, but it's something else, but it's I was just interested in getting it entered into VRIS.
VIRS.
Voter road, everybody who signs a petition from Berlin has to come to me, and then I have to go in and check their name individually for that permit,
I see.
for any petition,
Yeah.
because I have to provide all the clerks provide the legal, okay,
Right, authorized
40
signatures.
people sign the thing, only 35 were actually registered voters.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yep, makes sense. L petition.
Well, they used to put, on a petition, you'd have a place for 25, 30 names. Now they put one name on each petition, which is exhausting because you have to certify them as though there were 30 names on there.
Why do they put one name on each petition?
You would have to ask the proponents, I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay. Well. Okay, so for me, I feel like we're done. We needed to reorganize, we needed to set dates. Just chat
You need
about
to
the-
get the update from the Maytown meeting,
Yep,
where does everything stand?
yep,
And if you get more information in the interim, I have no problem with you sending it to
along.
me.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Well, that
no,
way,
I'm
I
happy
need
to-
time sometimes to think things through.
Yeah. Yeah, in theory, Kristen should be sending me / us. She should be updating the Google Drive that we have with the requests as they come in next
My
week.
computer doesn't like that.
I don't like it either, personally. My computer is fine with it. I don't like it. I have a hard time reading it. I don't like it. So I would say you're welcome to go get paper copies from her, or I can bring paper copies to our next meeting.
I'm a paper person.
I'm a paper person.
That's why when Eloise asked me if I wanted this, I go, yeah, I like, I like reading stuff.
Well,
can
the
tell me-
advantage is you can go back and read it and say, did I understand that
Yeah.
correctly?
Right. I just feel like staring at a screen is hard.
Yeah.
I don't comprehend as well as I
I'm
do
the same
on
way.
paper.
I'm the same way.
Um,
Seeing it in black and white here makes sense to me.
Probably has something to do with wavelengths and color and brain function, but I don't know. So as those requests come in, either I will email them to you if I get them in that form or fashion, or Kristen will update us that the Google Drive has been updated.
Okay.
And then we can have access to those, and then we'll just review them at our next meeting. I'll probably try and I'll take that back. I will reach out to police and fire and highway.
Yeah.
And just set them up to come within our schedule, that whatever works for them.
Eric was still waiting for pricing from the Ford
For the new car.
for the Nuco. He
mean,
said he expects to get it in by next week.
Okay. I feel like they get a new car every year, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started.
right?
Well, when you
Right.
have more police and you have more driving around to check, I mean, you get extra money from Highland Commons, and that's what they expect. Are we gonna stay with 6:30, or is that a hardship?
Any times for me. Doesn't
Oh.
matter.
Okay, we can do that.
This is fine for me, but if you need to change it.
I was gonna say, this was 7.
Oh, you said 6:30 in the email.
Did I really?
Yes. Well,
Oh my God, I'm so sorry that I stood you guys up for 30 minutes. I was even early for 7.
What?
Even online it says 7.
Online, I was going by your email.
I know John told me 6:30, so that's what I was going by.
So do
I'm
we
so
wanna
sorry.
keep that same time?
Seven's great.
Whatever consensus for everybody works out, it doesn't matter to me.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
As long as I write it down correctly.
yeah.
As long as I don't fall asleep in my recliner, we got it made.
So 6:30, Eloise, that work for you?
Yeah.
theory, it's a little later.
Okay.
Yeah, 6:30's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, until they move the time back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, can I review again? We have the 9th and then the 30th.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Then the
And then the
14th
14th and the
and 21.
21st.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we're thinking about it. Okay. I am so sorry you guys waited for me for 30 minutes.
It's all right.
Um,
Guess it depends on which location you went to get your information.
Yeah. Somehow I
We're all on
I had
board
7
now.
in my head, even though I wrote it down differently. No wonder you guys were all here. Wow. I was so impressed with I'm never early. I'm skimming at the last moment. I was like 3 minutes early.
I'm always early.
I try to come early only so I don't do like what you're talking about where you get involved in something else and forget to leave the house.
If I get distracted, that's what will happen.
Oh, yes. I'm always like, oh, I have 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I can do this one thing, but that one thing takes me 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And not the 8 I was planning on it.
And of course now I couldn't go over the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to wait for the left-hand turn over by the Clinton Savings.
Oh, it's Pleasant Street.
Because
Oh.
Pleasant Street
Oh,
and
that's terrible.
62 is just,
Terrible.
so I always come here down South Street because it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
They were shutting the South Street down. They should have put a set of lights in at Pleasant. Phew, portable lights.
Yeah. That's going to back up 62 like crazy. But I agree, it's awful.
It's one of the first things I learned when I
I was
moved here.
wondering if they would open up Keys Road, at least for, until this is resolved.
Yeah, where's Keys Road?
Oh, yeah.
Keys Road is, where the explosion was for Judy's house? It's that little road. There's only 2 houses on it.
Oh, okay. Does it go through?
No, that's it. They stopped it,
Yeah.
but that was before we had the bridge out.
Yeah. I feel like that would end up in the backyard of the school.
You would come in, where the pond is?
Yeah.
You'd be on the edge of the pond
Oh, okay.
coming over. I mean, those are things that the planning board looks at, and should we do this, and when, and how much, and,
Yeah.
but maybe a gravel something.
I was going to say open it up for 4-wheel drive vehicles only.
Well, it was the same thought as if you remember when the Broad Street Bridge was closed in Hudson. There was just before the bridge, there was Wheeler Road, and that took you out by Forest Ave, and then you can come back in, and that was a terrible road, but they paved it over so they could use it. Now it's a full-time road, but it was never used before.
Yeah.
But it's somebody the same idea as what you're saying.
Either that, or they can send them up on, across the railroad tracks and
Crosby, up
put them
that way.
up on Crosby.
Yep.
Well, that's a narrow, dark road.
I thought that was what the Facebook indicated that the detour would be, is that it would go up.
I think coming South
Take a left
Street,
off
yeah.
of South Street.
I don't have a cell phone.
Nah, I don't have Facebook, I have a husband.
Yeah. And I think you're right. You take a left across from Jones Road.
Yep.
You go up and you bear to the right and stay right, and brings you all the way down to Five Corners.
Oh, yeah.
And then Five Corners is going to be a disaster area.
I mean,
It is anyway.
that's that side of
Yeah.
town. It's,
Hey,
and it is that, yeah, it is a disaster anyway.
I'm on Coburn Road. Try to get out of Coburn Road
No.
at 7 o'clock and
On
on a Monday to
62?
Friday.
Where on Coburn Road?
First big farmhouse on the left as you go up the hill.
Oh, the big like white one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I got the cars whipping off Lancaster Road.
Fly.
Yeah.
So are we still meeting or?
We're still at the moment meeting, we're just chatting.
Okay.
But I can.
I just totally lost track.
Yeah.
Basically, we're set.
We confirmed our time for 6:30. I promise to show up, not make you wait for me. Anything else, Eloise, that you can think of we're missing? Okay, so I'm going to adjourn us at 7:33
Sounds good.
p.m. and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks on the 9th at 6:30. It's written in my schedule.